A new mass grave containing at least 450 bodies and at least 10 torture chambers were discovered in the same Ukrainian region after Russian troops withdrew from the area. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky said Russia leaves death everywhere, as he vowed to hold Moscow accountable after the murky discoveries. Ukrainian authorities have successively discovered torture chambers in the Kharkiv region, where Ukrainian civilians and foreigners are being held in completely inhumane conditions, officials said. Ukrainian Police Chief Igor Kremenko said 2 torture centers were found in the northeastern city of Baraklaya in the Kharkiv region. The mass grave was discovered last night in the forest near the newly liberated town of Izium in the eastern Donbas region, days after the region was liberated by Ukrainian forces occupied by Russia for 4 months. Most of the people buried in the mass graves are civilians, and some graves are only marked with numbers, Kremenko said today. Other tombs bear military symbols, indicating soldiers were buried there. It is unclear how the men died, but Ukrainians say some may have been killed in the fighting, while others may have been shot and died of their injuries. Asked if the mass graves were mostly civilians or soldiers, Police Chief Igor Kremenko told a news conference, according to preliminary estimates, civilians. Although we have information that there are troops there, we know troops have been found yet. Police have begun excavating the site to gather evidence of possible war crimes, and Klimenko said authorities have opened 204 criminal cases to investigate the atrocity. Prosecutors have so far uncovered Russian torture chambers and exhumed the graves of civilians, whose bodies showed signs of summary execution and were dismembered. People also told stories of electric shocks, rapes, enforced disappearances, arbitrary detentions, and other horrific incidents during interrogations. Of the hundreds of people buried in each grave, dozens of adults and children were killed in a Russian airstrike on a residential building, Izium resident Sergei Gorodko said. He said he pulled some of them from the rubble by hand.